How's it going, everyone? This is your Astrology Horoscope for Friday, June 7th, 2024. I'm astrologer Alex Skyles, and welcome to the Moon Base. Hope you guys had a great new moon yesterday. There's so many new doors and new energy coming into our lives, lots of new exciting developments in our relationship life. New opportunities and new doors are starting to open, especially coming through Taurus season, and now with 5 planets in Gemini. But today, I think there could be a little confusion with the moon leaving Gemini, going into Leo, and on its way out, it's going to square Neptune. So there can be this element of confusion and feeling a little detached from reality today. And I think any sort of conversations that can come up and difficult issues that can start to pop up, because Saturn's now at 19 degrees. Saturn is going to be retrograding at 19 degrees. So Saturn's now at the degree where it's going to go retrograde. So Venus and the Sun are starting to close in on this square with Saturn, while this moon in Gemini is going to square Neptune today. Okay? So it's easy to fall into that state of confusion or, having difficulty defining what is true, what is real, what is fact, what is fiction. This can come up a lot today. There can definitely be some surprises with information coming out that, you used to think things were one way and a whole different bit of information comes out in the open with Jupiter and Mercury here. There could be some things that can come out today that can be very surprising, and can be illusion shattering. I think today is one of these days where illusions can start to really crumble and break down, and at the same time, of course, when this moon leaves Gemini after it squares Neptune, and this moon is going to come into Cancer. So the moon is now in its ruler. Mars is in its ruler. Neptune is in its ruling sign. Mercury is in its ruling sign. So we have 4 planets in their ruler. So there is a lot of new potent energy and intensity that is really starting to push us. Like there is this element of, I have to do this. I have to do this. I can't escape this. This is what I must do. I have to face this truth. I have to face this, fantasy that is no longer a fantasy anymore. And I have to really bring the spiritual realm down into the physical plane and be able to connect the two as much as possible. Because today is one of these days, and definitely through the weekend, it's going to be challenging here with Venus and Saturn. There can be some things in our relationship lives, even with all these new, amazing, beautiful relationships that have been opening up and new opportunities. There is a reality that we have to look at with these new developments, with Saturn squaring. So, and there can be some things where it's like, okay, like I really like this person, or I really want to, commit to this opportunity, but there's the fine print you got to read, right? And if you don't read the fine print, you just kind of, oh, it's fine, you'll regret it later. You want to look at all the details here with Venus and the Sun starting to square Saturn. Look at all the details, read the fine print, double check 1,000,000 times, be honest, ask the right questions. Don't let one thing slip, because, if you let something slip, things can get real slippery. With Saturn and Pisces, that's been a lot of the lessons. And now that Saturn's at 19 degrees, it's getting ready to go retrograde at this degree. So we're going to be revisiting these things, and Saturn's going to be asking us, like, okay, where have you fulfilled your responsibilities? What have you not been fulfilling? Where have you not been serious enough? What haven't you taken serious enough? So today with the Sun and Venus really tightening up this square, and it's going to be happening as we go into Saturday as well, because that's going to be the exact 19-degree square. It's really going to be asking us, like, okay, what's the facts? What is the truth? because there are ideas and it's easy to be idealistic about a situation, and sometimes that can seem impractical, but that's what we need to look at here. Because even when new exciting things brew and start to develop and show up in our lives, that moment of bliss or that moment of that initial instinctual connection, you don't really see the whole picture yet. So now we're starting to really see the whole picture in a realistic way, and that's what happens when the sun squares Saturn, especially with Venus. So this is testing our relationships. There can be a lot of tests in our relationship life, And it's just about being honest and discerning fact and fiction. And with this new moon, we're entering into a whole new phase here. A whole new phase of information, a whole new phase of expansion, a whole new phase of being able to connect with others on a very, very deep level and being able to learn from each other from these strong connections and being able to learn from each other about the more deeper things. So this Black Moon, Lilith, and the South Node are still together at 13 degrees today. So there can be this kind of nagging underlying thing that's connected to our relationships. Venus is dispositing the South Node. So there are just these certain ideas and certain possible, fantasies or delusions that are going to be addressed. That whatever Saturn, wherever Saturn is applying pressure, it's going to reveal the facts. It's going to reveal the truth. And there's something that needs to be purged, and there's something that needs to be let go of. And Mars is now at 28 degrees, and Mars is about to come to 29. And those 29 and 0 degree marks are some of the most karmic and potent degrees. So over this weekend, we're going to be moving into Mars and Taurus, a whole new Mars cycle here. So we want to utilize this last flame of Mars and Aries, because after that, we're not going to have any planets in fire signs. It's the last planet in a fire sign. So we want to use these next few days to really fucking go after shit, make shit happen, lay it in to the fabric of your reality, the web you are weaving. Okay? Use this last bit of this Mars energy to really fucking put shit into gear here. And this new moon is really going to start to reveal over these next 15 days once we get to I guess it'll be the Capricorn full moon. That's what's coming up next. Without Pluto in Capricorn, which is very exciting. So we want to use these next few days to really make some things happen. Put a lot of energy out there, because then we're going to have Mars and Taurus, and Mars knows that it has to come meet with Uranus, which is going to really be very exciting and very shocking and can really rock the fucking world and really shake our lives up in an exciting way, but also in a fucking intense, volatile way, more on a collective level, because Pluto's in Capricorn, or Pluto's in Aquarius. Uranus is dispositing Pluto, so there's definitely going to be some bigger collective, exciting developments once Mars comes into Taurus, especially technologically. Like, we're going to be seeing technology be used in very intense ways with Mars and Uranus and Taurus. And yeah, it was the last time Mars and Uranus conjunct at 26 degrees of Taurus was 1942. So I think when Mars comes into Taurus, I want to talk more about that. That's a very interesting time period, and what the hell is going on in the world right now, I think is very relevant. And that's how the astrology works. It's like we always come back to where we were in an expanded way. That's how evolution works. Nothing's a straight line. So time is not a straight line. We have the King of Swords today. So, it's like you have to take your own authority to be able to discern the harsh facts that are coming to the surface with Venus and the Sun starting to square over to Saturn. the King of Swords has a very strong Saturn energy. And with this moon in Gemini today squaring Neptune, there can be a lot of haze, a lot of fog, a lot of confusion, possibly some deception that can be revealed. We want to be able to be strong enough and have the strength to really cut through the bullshit. And I think as well, it's like sometimes with Gemini, it's more non-emotional, so, you could, to be able to look at the more difficult things. That's what Saturn is really testing us right now. In that Jupiter trine Pluto is, being able to look at the more intense, deeper, heavier things with this energy that we're moving into over the weekend. And just being able to discern, okay, like this is the truth. I didn't follow through with this. I wasn't clear about this. You weren't clear about that. This is where we did thrive. Okay, this was a good outcome. There's always some things that are coming along with this Sun-Venus conjunction with this new moon. Like there are some harsh realities that we have to acknowledge with Saturn squaring here. And we're moving into that all weekend. So being able to use this last bit of Mars and Aries fire to really push forward and push just a few extra fucking yards towards the end zone. Even though there is no end, it never ends. But you know what I mean? Use this last bit of fire, going into the weekend to really push ahead in a very intense, strong way. So I hope you guys have a wonderful Friday. Always good to be here with all of you. And if you're new here, subscribe to my channel, like this video, leave a comment, say what's up. You can find me on all the social medias, where you will find the links to my Instagram and everything in the description of this video. If you want to book a reading with me, you can go to my booking website. My reading sale is going till June 21st, but there's only a few slots available, so it may end before that. So if you want to join me, I would book that as soon as possible because it is going pretty quickly. So I appreciate all of you, and I will see you all for the weekend. Peace.